If you've ever been curious on how celebrities sell their soul, this video is for you. I'm about to tell you the story of the first ever celebrity known to sell their soul. The name you need to remember is Leonard Butler. So this kid, Leonard Butler, grew up his whole life only wanting to do one thing, and that was to be an athlete. He played sports his whole life, mainly basketball. The problem with Leonard is he was undersized. His whole life, he was too small to quite break into the next level of his game. His coaches always told him he was too small to start. College scouts didn't want him because he was too small. It was just his size was a problem his whole life. But all he ever wanted was to be an athlete. This is all this man ever wanted. It was all he ever thought about. He was just determined to be an athlete. Well, one night, Leonard stayed late in the gym, getting his shots up, just practicing, trying to be as good as he possibly can be. Mind you, he was practicing late into the night. It had to be around midnight at this point. Then all of a sudden, while he's taking his shots, he heard the gym door swing open. Leonard looked around, turned behind him. He was confused. No one ever came into the gym this late at night. It was always just him in here. So he turned around to see who came into the gym, and it was this tall man in a trench coat and a hat. He couldn't quite make out his face, but he was definitely very tall. It was this tall man who was pretty skinny. But Leonard called out to the guy. He was like, "Hello, sir, can I help you?" The man called back to Leonard. He said, "No, but I can help you." So Leonard goes and sits down and talks to this man for a little while. And eventually the guy just tells him straight up, like, "Hey, you just want to be a ball player." And then Leonard goes, "It's all I've ever wanted. I just want to play basketball. I want to take it to the next level. I want to play in college. I want to play professionally. I want to play basketball." The man tells Leonard, he goes, "I can make that happen." The man told Leonard, "I will get you everything that you need to make it, and I will ensure that you will be a star in basketball." He said, "But under one condition. The minute you stop playing basketball, your life belongs to me." Leonard was so desperate to be this star, he didn't even listen to this man. He immediately just was like, "Yeah, I agree. Let's do it." So the man hands Leonard a contract, and Leonard goes ahead and he signs it. Right after this, the man gets up and he leaves the gym. Years later, Leonard was asked about this situation, and Leonard to this day says he could not tell you what this man looked like. He said the memory of this man's face was just completely gone from his memory. Anyway, getting back to the story. So after this man left, Leonard stayed in the gym for a few more hours, still getting his shots up, trying to be as good as he possibly can be. So Leonard goes home that night, goes to sleep, wakes up in the morning. Nothing special about this day whatsoever. Immediately he goes, he walks, he checks the mail, and he sees he has a letter for him. It was an invite. It was an invite to one of the most prestigious basketball camps in the country. People were fighting tooth and nail to get into this camp, and Leonard had just been invited. He was invited to personally work with NBA coaches, NBA stars, just the greatest minds in basketball. Soon, Leonard made varsity. He was averaging 20 points a game. He was getting college offers left and right. Things were just really working out for Leonard when it comes to basketball. Eventually, Leonard accepts a basketball scholarship to play at Duke University. One of the best schools, not only for basketball, but it's a great academic school as well. It was around this time that Leonard started getting nightmares constantly. In all of these dreams, it shows Leonard in the NBA. It's like he's watching a highlight reel of his future in the NBA. But eventually it would get to the part where he would retire. But in all of these dreams, as soon as Leonard would retire from the NBA, he would mysteriously die. Each one of his dreams were different, but he would die every single time in different random ways. But it was one simple thing. He would retire, he would die. It was at this point he started thinking about this deal he made with this mysterious guy. Right after he talked to him, he started getting all these crazy lucky opportunities, and he started growing in basketball. And then he thought about these dreams he's had, and he remembered what the guy told him. As soon as he stopped playing basketball, his life belonged to him. This freaked Leonard out. Once Leonard made the NBA, he battled injuries a lot. But this did not stop him from continuing and pushing to keep playing basketball. Despite all these constant injuries Leonard would face, he was a very talented NBA player. He won many awards. He even won an NBA championship at some point. But many of his fans realized something was off about Leonard. At some point in his career, he had achieved it all. He had won awards. He had won a championship. He had money, and he's still pushing to keep playing basketball. Mind you, Leonard is very old, and he's at the age where most NBA players retire. Not only that, Leonard had battled injuries his whole career. He's barely making it. People are wondering, why is he putting his body through so much stress? He has it all. There's no reason for him to keep playing. But Leonard knew as soon as he stopped playing basketball, his life was over. So Leonard just kept playing basketball. battling through just horrible, gruesome injuries. His body just couldn't handle the sport anymore. It got to the point where his team was ready to let him go because he's so old and he's just constantly hurting. He's not useful to the team anymore. But it got to the point where he was just begging the team to not cut him. Please just let me play. He was offering to play for free and he just wanted to play basketball. But eventually the team is just like, we can't keep you anymore. Like you're too injured. You're not playing anymore. And quite frankly, you're just not that good anymore. So eventually the team cut him. When Leonard eventually found out he was being cut, this ruined him. He became a paranoid mess. As soon as he was cut, he didn't leave his house. He would stay in his house, wouldn't go out for groceries, wouldn't go out for food, just staying in his house. He was so paranoid something bad was going to happen to him. Around a week after he was cut, Leonard was sitting in his living room when he heard a knock at his front door. Leonard goes ahead and he opens the door just to see that same man who he had met in the gym many, many years ago. Immediately, the man asked Leonard, do you remember our deal? Leonard, just pale and terrified, just replied to the man. He said, yes, I remember our deal. What does this mean? What are you going to do to me? Are you going to hurt me? The man said nothing, closed the door, walked away. This freaked Leonard out. He told everyone. He was telling his family. He was telling his wife, his parents. Everyone just thought he was crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You're going to be fine. A few days later, Leonard died of a heart attack. I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think this was all just a big coincidence? Or do you think that Leonard was the first ever celebrity to sell their soul?
Well, I think it's a fictional story. First and foremost, guys, I hope you guys don't think that I played this video because I believe it. Now, I do realize that people out there sell their souls in the entertainment industry, in the sports industry, and a lot of people in the comment section feel like this could be talking about LeBron. Now, as I said, guys, I don't believe this is a real story, but what I do believe is that LeBron did really sell his soul. There's somebody in the comment section that posted this picture saying, remember our deal, Leonard. But as many of you know, they call him the NBA's most longest or diehard fan or something like that. And it's not really a demon or anything like that, but I'll be danged if that dude don't look possessed. Now, we do know that people really do sell their soul. And we really do know that you cannot actually sell your soul. But that doesn't stop one from getting success from pledging their allegiance to Satan. Remember in the Bible, in the book of Matthew, Jesus was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, and Satan approached him and offered him the world and told him all he had to do was bow down to him. So we see that biblically, Satan has the power to give people the world. Theoretically, the money, the cars, the clothes, he can't literally hand them the world, but he can give them all life's, possessions and things that people think make life worth living. But Jesus told him, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone. And Satan left to come back at an opportune time where he thought that Jesus would be more weak and susceptible to accept his deal. The thing is too many people in this world are so ready to accept the deal. And Satan knows this. He watches you. He plots on you. He has monitoring spirits and familiar spirits that follow you around. They're assigned to you. They understand everything in life because they've watched you. They're not reading your mind. They're just listening to what you're saying. And they're using this information to try to bird feed you along the way, enticing you, trying to trap you into Satan's grasp. And so many people in this thing are saying, that's why LeBron won't retire. Sounds like LeBron. Leonard Butler equals LeBron. What in the LeBron James is this? And so we know that LeBron wasn't short, so there's no way that this is actually LeBron. But as I said, I believe that this is a false story. But this person right here says Jesus is the only way. This person says Lucifer waking up mad knowing he'll never get me. This person right here says Jesus is the only way. Now, obviously, we're all intelligent people here. We know this is a fake story, but I played it with you guys as a means to show you that there are things, there's spiritual circumstances, situations, allegiances. This stuff really does come to pass. This stuff really does exist. And there's people out here at these crossroads. They're doing these seances, they're doing these ceremonies, pledging their allegiance to these demons. They're pledging their allegiance to Satan. They're doing demonic rituals. We've seen A$AP Rocky where he was standing in the middle of that pentagram doing a demonic ritual, selling his soul. And look at how he's married to Rihanna, one of the most popular, successful women in the world. So we know the stuff works. He's best friends with Michelle LeMay and Rick Owens, two of the most satanic people in the world. Pledging your allegiance to the devil does work. although it will come with a cost, and the cost is never worth it. I know that people have no fear of the Lord these days, and in these last days, we'll see it grow even more. But don't think that for one moment those people are happy when they lay their heads on the pillow at night. Don't think that for 1 second they're not facing some type of spiritual warfare, or when things go bump in the night that they don't wonder if that's Satan coming to get them. So while this particular story may be fake, the people out there really doing this stuff knows that it's real. The Hollywood parties, the satanic ritual abuse, all that stuff really does exist. And there's people out there thriving, all because of stuff like this. So that's my thoughts on this. I'll leave this guy's link in the description to give him credit for his work, as well as to make it easy for you guys to follow him, even though he's not a Christian and I don't agree with everything that he's saying, just for the record, guys. So that's going to do it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, God bless.